Hello everyone. So we have been talking about place value and how these 10 blocks here stand for ones and these represent tens. Today we're going to talk about being able to recognize numbers when they're given in different ways. So what I mean, for example, is if you were given this model, could you tell me what that represents? This model represents what number? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this shows 14. If I was given this problem and asked, what number does this represent? How could I figure that out? Well, I could add it together, or I could think if it was a model and there was a 10 and 4 ones, what does that show? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So no matter which way it's built or how it's written, it's still 14. Remember, this could also be written as 1, 10, and 4 ones. It could be written out that way. No matter how it's written, it is still 14. Okay? Let's do another one. If you were given this, and it said, what's another way to represent this number? 2 tens. Well, what number is 2 tens? Well, if you're not sure, let's build it. 2 tens. What number does this represent? Remember, each of these is worth tens, so we count by tens. 10, 20. So 2 tens is 20. 2 tens. Remember the tens place and the ones place? Tens and ones. There's 2 tens and 0 ones. It could be written 20 plus 0 equals 20. Or it could be spelled out 20. No matter which way it's written, it still is 20. All right, let's practice modeling a few numbers together just with your base 10 blocks. Can you, and if you don't have them, you may want to pause and go grab them. And your little mat to separate your tens and ones would be helpful too. All right, I want for you to model this number. Model this number. If you need more time, press pause. That way I don't go on while you're still trying to build. Okay, so for this number, to model it with base 10 blocks, you should have pulled out 1 10, because there's 1 in the tens place, and 5 ones, because there is a 5 in the ones place. This should represent 15. Let's count it to make sure. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay? Let's try a different one. Can you compose this number with base 10 blocks? Compose that number. Compose just means to put together. Okay, you should have pulled out a 10 and a 1. This is the expanded form, and here we are modeling the number. So this is 10, 11. Okay, let's try another one. Can you model this number? 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many does this represent? This represents the number 7 in standard form. Or if we write it in word form, it would look like this, 7. Okay, let's try a different one. Represent this number with base 10 blocks. Can you represent that number? If you don't know what that says, see if you can sound it out. 16. 16. Can you represent 16? 16 has 1 10 and 6 ones. Let's check this to see if I built it correctly. And see if you built it correctly, because you should be building these with me. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Also, notice how I'm keeping my 10s on the left and my 1s on the right. I don't build this number like this. That's backwards. I'm not building it like that or like this. I'm building it nice and organized. And I want you to always practice building it organized, because like I said, as we move on to larger numbers and as you move on to 2nd and 3rd grade where you're adding bigger numbers, it's really important that these are organized in the right order. So 10s and 1s. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. In standard form, 16 is written like this because there is 1 10 and 6 ones. In expanded form, it is written like this. A 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals 16. It could also be said like this. 1 10, or could even just write the number 1 10 and 6 ones. No matter what way you put it, it is still 16. Okay, now let's look at your base 10 blocks. If I have you build a number, let's all build 19. If a number is greater than 10, don't even start by trying to grab ones. If a number is greater than 10, always start by grabbing a 10 first. And 19 is greater than 10, so let's start by building 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I didn't even grab the ones first because I know 19's larger than 10, so we're going to start by building with 10. Okay, let's count this. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so I have 19. How can I decompose this into 10s and 1s? Well, if we decompose 19, we break it apart into 10s and 1s. So we have 10 and 9. 10 plus 9 equals 19. All right, let's do one more together. Build the number. Let's do a challenge number this time. Why don't you build 24? I know this is higher than we are supposed to go right now, but let's challenge you. 24. Can you build 24? Okay, to build 24, we have, remember, our 10s place and our 1s place. In the 10s place, there is a 2, which means we need 2 10s. And in the 1s place, there's a 4, which means we need 4 1s. So, to build 24, you should have 2 10s and 4 1s. And then we can count to check. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, did you get the challenge? How'd you do?